Alright, morning guys, making another video. Got several requests, different people asking different things. One is about safe driving tips and also winter driving. So kind of went through, made a few small, there's plenty of things to talk about. This could be long, but I'm going to try my best not to make it long. By the way, I'm sorry, my stand is also dead middle of the screen. But yeah, that's how I have it set up right now. And I'm driving, so I can't change that. Let me see, that's going to be something before. But yeah, so a few safe driving tips. I mean, like I said a second ago, there's so much to talk about. So many things I could talk about. But I'm going to kind of narrow it down to a few topics. Those topics are mirrors, proper use of mirrors, proper lane change, maintaining your lane, U-turns, and winter driving tips. Alright? So, let's go ahead and get started talking. Alright? First one I want to talk about is effective use of the mirrors. Alright? The first thing you should do is always adjust your mirror to your specifications. Like, you know, what's good for you. You know, especially out here as a trainer riding with the student, it's not like, not everybody is not my height. Not everybody is 6'5". That's just not, some people's adjustments to the mirror is different. Some people keep it pretty close to the same as my adjustments. But ultimately, it comes down to you adjusting the mirror the way it needs to be set for you. Now, with that being said, one of the Safe 7 is preparing to drive. Another one is reducing the risk. Alright? But this adjusting the mirrors falls under preparing to drive and reducing the risk. When you first get in the truck, you know, you get in the driver's seat, you sit down, and what you need to do is look in your mirrors. Look in your mirrors to make sure, you know, that you don't want them turned all the way in so far in, all you see is the trailer, and you don't want them turned so far out you can't see the trailer, period. Me personally, the way I have them adjusted for me, I have mine adjusted to where you can see down the side of the trailer, but the trailer's not taking up the majority of what I see in the mirror. It's not taking up the majority of what I see in the mirror. It's a portion of it, but not all of it. And I also have it tilted down some to where I can actually see the wheels on the trailer as well. You don't want your mirrors so high that you can't see the wheels. Because let's say your brakes catch on fire or something. Like, how are you going to know? Because you're driving down the road, but you can't see your wheels. You won't know. And let's say one of your wheels blows, you know? You should, especially if it's a big blowout, you should hear it. You should hear it, and you will feel it. But you need to be able to look in your mirrors, and you're supposed to be checking, you know, just constantly keeping your head on the swivel. You know, watching the road, what's going on in front of you. You look in the mirrors, you see what's going on around you, and then you look around. You know, just keep trying to do your best to maintain a constant view of what's happening around you constantly. That's a good habit to get into, and a part of doing that is having the proper adjustment for the mirrors. Now, also to, you know, piggyback off of that, you can only, just like in a car, you can only see but so much from your mirrors. The mirrors are a tool and they help you see a lot, but you can only see but so much. You need to actually be moving your body around. You know, this is going to lead into the next portion of what I want to talk about. Doing a safe and effective lane change. You don't just glance in your mirror and, you know, see that little bit and hope for the best and just move over and, you know, hopefully that's it. No, you look in the mirror and then you also perform a lean and look around. You know, by leaning and moving your body forward or backward, it changes, you know, what you're viewing in the mirror. It allows you to get a better view of what's happening beside you on both sides. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and do a fake lane change. I want to move to the left. First, I signal early. Alright? A lot of people want to signal last second. Signal early to let people around you know what your intentions are. Look in the mirror, look back to the road in front of me. Look in the mirror, look back in the road in front of me. Keep my head on a swivel. It's not like when you're driving, you're locked in one position. Hold on a second, I'll go ahead and swap lanes after I get out of this curve. But your head is not like locked in one position. If you're looking out the window and looking in the mirror, you don't have to just sit and stare at the mirror because you're gonna hit something in front of you. Your head needs to be moving around, looking what's going on around you on all four sides, you know, getting an idea what's going on, and having a full 360-degree view of what's happening around you. So, I want to move to the left-hand lane. I look over in the mirror, I look in front of me, I see that vehicle in the distance, it's far ahead of me. I know I'm not rolling up on it. I'll continue looking on my mirror, looking to my side. I'm leaning forward, adjust my view of what I see in the mirror. Once I do that, I begin to move over. So I'm not jerking, I'm just moving over, you know, at a steady rate. What I like to do when I move over and swap lanes is I like to move over in such a controlled manner that even though I'm swapping lanes, I can look down either one of the two mirrors and still see the complete side of the trailer. Some people swap lanes so hard, you can't see down, like if they're moving to the right in the trailer, you know, it obviously bends. You don't even see down that side of the trailer. There's no need to swap that hard. Just move over gradually. You don't want to lose control of the vehicle. Alright, I'm going to move back to the right-hand lane. Signal early. Let what's going on, people around me know my intentions. Lean forward, look, get a better view of what's going on beside me. I look at my hood mirror. I look at both the two mirrors on the passenger side. I have it adjusted to where I can see what's going on directly beside the truck and what's going on, you know, just in that general area. The last thing you want to do is swap lanes and come over on somebody. And it can't happen in the truck because your visibility is kind of cut because you can only see it so much. And that's why it's important to look in your mirrors, get a thorough look, keeping your head on the swivel, looking in the road in front of you, head on the swivel. Once you've established that there's nobody beside you, nobody's coming up on you quickly, and you're not going up on anybody quickly, safely can swap lanes, move over gradually. Alright? Do that. Once you have completed your lane change, then you kill your signal. You don't kill your signal halfway through the lane change. You don't turn it on for 2 blinks and then you move over, and then while it's off, you turn your turn signal on, you signal your intentions, you move over, and then once you completed your lane change, then you turn off your signal. Alright? So that's proper use of the mirrors, and that's proper lane change. Alright? Now I want to talk about maintaining your lane. Anybody that comes out here and drives a truck, you're going to start seeing that the truck pulls a little bit. It has a little bit of a pull to it. Nothing that you can't handle, nothing that you can't overcome, but it pulls a little bit to the right. At least in my truck, it pulls to the right. So, obviously, you want to stay in your lane. I mean, there's so many benefits to it, but I mean, first things first. God forbid you have an officer driving behind you. The last thing you want to get pulled over for is something petty like failure to maintain lane. Like, I mean, it's a petty reason to pull somebody over, more or less, depending on the reason or what you're trying to, you know, get out of it. But nonetheless, you know, I can't stand it when people come at you with a high beam car like that. Oh, it's annoying. But anyway, you want to drive in your lane. You don't want to get hit with failure to maintain your lane citation, but also maintaining your lane. If there's somebody coming by you, you know, you don't have to scare that person into thinking you're going to hit them. You know, you need to get into a habit of staying in your lane, because there is also going to be a time when you come to a construction zone, and if you already have an issue staying in your lane, there are some construction zones where they have it marked off where the lane is thinner than what it actually is out here on the road that you're driving in. Like, they'll have, for whatever reason, they'll have the markers like inside the white lines, and you only have like inches to spare on both sides of the vehicle. You need to be able to effectively drive in a straight line and stay inside that lane. Next reason is you don't want to have a bad lane setup while going into curves. The last thing you want to do is go into a curve and you're already halfway out the lane, you start turning in that curve, and your trailer offsets all the way to the other lane. You can actually hit somebody, cause an accident. It's just a whole, just a bad, it can make just so many bad reasons or bad things that can happen when you just don't maintain your lane. Always, always, always stay in your lane. Another thing I want to talk about, U-turns. U-turns is a very important one. ROEHL has a no U-turn policy in the truck, and I fully agree with it. You don't need to be making U-turns in the truck. I'm like, it takes so long to do one. I mean, so just think about it. You have your truck and then 53 feet of trailer behind you. You're going to have to offset to the right, try to make the turn, most likely not going to have enough room, back up a little bit, jackknife the truck, make that angle a little bit more harsh, and then complete the turn. And then if you do that, like what happens if you try to use it on a green light and you're coming over, like you're at the top of a hill and somebody's coming up the backside of the hill, he can't see you. You're going to hit a U-turn, somebody's going to drive their car up under your trailer, another truck is going to come and drive through your trailer. You're going to cause a major, major, major accident. Anytime I've needed to perform like a U-turn, I've always driven, like if I've missed something, GPS led me wrong, or I've made a mistake in my navigation, what I do is I just keep going forward until I find a parking lot big enough to handle a semi-truck. At that time, I turn to the parking lot, effectively maneuver safely to come back around in that edge of the parking lot and proceed in the direction the correct direction I need to be going in. But yeah, you don't do a U-turn in the middle of the street. You can cause a major, major, major accident. Anybody that's a ROEHL driver that sees this channel, they've been to Conley, Georgia, and know, when you're going into the terminal, when they have you coming off of 285, you go down the hill, you come up the other side. But you've seen people, like, if you go into the quick trip that's around there's that one cut in the middle to where truck drivers tend to make U-turns there all the time. Why? I do not know. Because you don't really have much room as it is to make the U-turn. And then on top of that, there's like a huge hump there with a sign. And people still continue to make these U-turns. And what ends up getting me is that there are wrecks there all the time. And people still do it. And then on top of that, or they get their trailer wheels stuck on the curb, now they're holding up traffic, and they're also taking out the big old sign that's sitting right there. Like, I just don't get it. It's like people just don't understand, but they still do it. That's why you don't need to be making a U-turn in a semi-truck. It puts it in a bad, rushed, kind of crazy scenario. Last but not least, I had a person ask about winter driving. Winter driving, I do not by any means classify myself as some kind of expert. I mean, I've only made it through one winter so far, one complete extreme winter, and also it snowed like 2 days ago, and it was actually coming down pretty hard. So it snowed 2 days ago. So that's my winter driving experience right there. But what I learned, all right? First things first, do not ever push yourself outside of your comfort level, or push yourself outside your comfort level to the point to where it is unsafe. If it's snowing hard outside and you just don't feel comfortable driving in that, you need to pull over to a safe location, call your company, whoever you drive for, tell them I do not feel safe driving, and you shut down until it's cleared up and you can drive some. Another thing, slow down and stay back. And this goes for in the rain too. For whatever reason, I see people come out here and they ride each other's bumpers, even in bad weather. I don't understand that. What happens if the person in front of you sees a wreck up ahead and they go to get on their brakes? And this is specifically for the snow. They go to get on their brakes. Well, when they tap on their brakes, if you're riding there behind at 75 feet away from them, you're not stopping, especially in the snow. You're going to slide. You're going to ram right into the back of this driver that's in front of you. And it causes a huge mess. There's no need for it. You need to be able to leave yourself a lot of room between you and the person in front of you. And if somebody cuts you off, especially out here in the trucking world, it is what it is. people cut you off all the time. When somebody cuts you off, just slow down, stay back from them, allow that following distance to go up. ROEHL preaches having a 7-second follow distance. That's in good, clear, perfect weather. Anything less than that, your following distance needs to be more than 7 seconds. It needs to be significant. I'm talking like, 14, 20, 25 seconds. Because it takes you that kind of time to stop in the snow and in bad weather. Especially, whether you're empty or loaded, or like 25 or 30 or even 46,000 pounds of cargo. It doesn't matter what your weight situation is, it takes you a nice little second to stop in inclement weather. And the reason is, it's not that you can't get in the brakes, but what's going to happen is if you get in the brakes hard, you can hydroplane, you can start sliding, you can lose control. That's the last thing you want to do, and you can cause the truck to jackknife. So, just, slow down and stay back. And drive in your comfort zone, and don't go outside of that. You know what you're comfortable in driving in, you know what you're not comfortable in driving in. Do not take curves and turns very fast at all. Do not do it fast at all. And on ramps and exit ramps, or exit ramps I should say, go flying into them really fast, because you can't stop. You're not going to have the time and the ability to stop. Winter driving is nothing more than just using common sense. Trip planning, there's a phone number in the map for each state. You can call and find out the conditions of different roads you will be on. Call that number. If you're going down the road and you're not sure what the condition is, call it. Say, hey, what's up with this road right here? And it'll let you know, the automated system will let you know, hey, you don't need to go down this road is covered in ice, chain laws in effect, chain laws not in effect, blase, blase, blase. That's what happened to me. I had one guy comment on another video saying, I know you're lying, or something of that nature, he said, I know this is not true because ROEHL doesn't allow you to drive with chains. You don't chain up. Well, first of all, since it wants to be technical, we use cables. Fine. Chains, cables, tomato, same difference. And ROEHL does not want you to do it, but the reason we carry them is because some states, in order to drive in those states, you have to have them on your truck. You don't have to drive in that kind of weather, but you have to have them on your truck if you're in that state. And what happened with me was I was going into Seattle, and it's literally like the exit is the last exit before you go through the pass, and then it's like the exit, and then a mile down the road from the exit, there's a sign that will let you know chain laws are in effect, and then it lets you know the distance ahead. Well, what ended up happening with me is the weather was fine, just a little bit of it was a little bit of rain, nothing crazy. It wasn't anything I've never driven it before. And past the exit, whatever, I'm gonna keep on trucking. Nothing's wrong. It's cold, but it's not bad. Well, I had to go up a mountain and come down the other side of the mountain to get to Seattle. Well, then I saw the sign that said chain law in effect like 7 miles ahead. I'm like, all right. I said, let me stop and see where the next exit is. Stopped, did some research on the side of the road in a pull-off parking safe area. Now the exit I just passed was the last exit, and the one that was coming up next was right after the pass. So what I had to do, kept on driving, started going up the mountain. And as you go up the mountain, it drastically changed. It went from snow, it went from rain to nothing on the ground, just wet, to snowing, to heavy snowing, to ice and snow coming down. And then the ground was like, it was like having just like a thick layer of slush on the ground. It was like a nice thick layer. And they have a spot on the side where trucks pull off at, but it's still not much space. It's the same space as what you see right now on the side of the video. Like, that's how much space you have. When you're putting the chains or the cables on the tire, that's you literally right there on the white line of the road. But yeah, you have to stop, put it out there, and DOT is driving up and down the highway, making sure you have chains or cables on your tire. You go through the pass, finish up the upside, you go down the backside. Once you make it down the backside, they have an area for you to pull off and store the chains after that. And that's how I end up having to use the cables. So yes, whoever that person was, I can't remember the name, commented saying he didn't think I'm telling the truth. That's how I ended up in that scenario where I had to. There was no level of trip planning that would have helped me to be able to know what was going on, because it literally, the chain laws came into effect like right as I was getting to the sign. It is what it is. Like sometimes you draw the short straw and you got to deal with it. But those are my winter driving tips. If anybody else has any other tips, definitely by all means leave them in the comment section. If any other experienced drivers, more experienced drivers than me, have any tips, by all means get on there. Don't be rude. There's no need to get rude on this page. I can't stand it. There's no room for that here. Just get on the page. If you got some tips, you know, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. You know, I'm all for learning too. That's part of life, growth. And the second you stop learning and growing is the second your life just goes downhill. Always strive to grow and learn as a person, and I still in that way to this day. So if you have comments, you know, if you've been driving for 10, 15, 20 years, hell, you've been driving for 3 years, that's 2 years longer than me. Drop a comment, leave some suggestions. I'm always open for it, you know, and other people who are on my page, they're going to want to read those comments and suggestions as well. So go ahead and help fellow truck drivers out. You know, we're a family, we're a community out here. Alright, car cut me off just now. Check my mirrors, put my turn signal on early. I come over smoothly and I execute a safe lane. I'm approaching him or her. I can't stand other people do this. Mr. Raymond, how are you? The road doesn't look very, oh, no, because I'm just talking about it. It's not icy at the moment, it's actually very nice. I can't stand when people do this. Like they get on, another thing, let's talk about merging onto the interstate before I end this video. When you get on the interstate, get on at the speed of the traffic. Like I can't stand it when people get on the interstate and they get on like doing like 45 or 50 miles an hour. Then they cause everybody to have to try to speed up and get around them. Here we are having an SR back up there. This is part of reducing the risk, slowing down. With me, I'm slowing down. See all kind of stuff going on ahead of me. All right, it looks like traffic's coming to a stop. Put your four ways behind you. You know, I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. I'm out in the middle of nowhere right now. Put it on to see what's going on. You know, slow down, stay safe. All right. Slow down to a very safe speed. Now that I've done so, I'll continue driving. All right. I will not speed up and accelerate once I get all, you know, close to all these lights. All right. Knowing what's happening, paying attention to what's going on around you. It's probably hard to see what's going on for y'all's end. So, let's see. Even still, this is why it's important. It's still having you slow down even more. Actually have to come over the yellow line. It looks like somebody ran off the road over here. That's what it looks like. Oh, wow. Nope. Truck caught on fire. That's what that is. Somebody ran off the road and the car on fire. See if you're moving back over. Come back over to this lane. There you go. Paying attention. That's safe 7 right there. Paying attention, knowing what's happening, you know, reducing the risk, slowing down, staying back, blah, 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 blah. There it goes, right there, in action. And that kind of stuff will help you be a safe driver. So yeah, but back to what I was, you know, bitching about before. Get onto the interstate and merge on at the speed, you know. I'm not saying fly down the on-ramp, merge on the interstate like 120 miles an hour and then slow down. Like, don't do that, because that's far from safe too. But what I am saying is, when you get on the interstate, be at the speed of the lanes or, you know, be at the speed of the traffic or around that speed. And when you're coming to the on-ramp, I've noticed a lot of people do is they do not begin looking for a way to get on until they're right at the time they have to merge on. What you need to be doing is what's the word? assessing the area that you have to get on at, looking at the traffic. You know, when you're coming down the on-ramp, look and say, all right, I've got no cars, hey, I can just get on at whatever speed I want to get on, nobody's coming. Or I have a significant amount of vehicles coming up on me. If I keep at this speed, it's going to have me right next to this semi-truck. It's going to have me, it's going to have me in a bad spot. I need to slow down a tad bit to allow myself to be able to merge on behind them. Or, hey, I'm in a car, I can beat these guys, but I need to get myself a little bit of gas. So you give yourself gas, so when you get at that merge point, you're able to safely get on the interstate and keep going and speed up just a tad bit. You don't have to, you make a great channel, I appreciate that. My students seem to think I'm pretty good. Oh yeah, I can't stand slow mergers. But oh yeah, the road is not icy at all at the moment. According to my truck, it says it's 48 degrees outside. Not too bad. But yesterday, yeah, well 2 days ago, when it was snowing, it was snowing pretty hard. It wasn't sticking to the ground, but it was snowing pretty hard to where it was kind of killing visibility a little bit. But yeah, so that's a little quick tip on merging. I should definitely put that on the list too. Merging. Okay, Richard. All this on my channel, hating. But yeah, that's another tip on merging on the interstate. So that's really that. Outside of that, just know what's going on around you. Just use common sense. Keep your head on a swivel. Adjust your body, maneuver around, use your mirrors, use all your tools to help you succeed and keep you from wrecking into somebody. As my dad always says, he says safety before service. You can drive as wild as you want, but if you come out here and get into a wreck, you can't help nobody. You can't get your load to anywhere on time. You just damage your equipment. The company doesn't like you anymore. You're probably going to leave your job because you just wrecked the truck. You can't deliver a load anywhere if you're wrecking and damaging equipment. So, safety before service. Be safe, drive smart, and your load will get there in an appropriate time. And the company knows that you're trying to be safe, and they're building a window for these loads. So if you're coming out here and you're doing the right thing, you're being safe, you're still going to get your stuff to places on time. Good morning, Miss Janisha. How are you doing? So yeah, that's really that. So that's the end of this video. That's what I wanted to talk about. That was a special request from a friend. Wanted me to talk about certain things, and also another comment. We've been emailing back and forth, and she asked about winter driving and driving safely in the winter and inclement conditions. So I mean, that was that. Honestly, just be safe, use common sense. Like, don't do anything wild. And if you don't feel like you can safely do it, then you don't need to do it. If it makes you say, I'm not really sure if I should not be doing it, then don't do it. Richard, I am now on 35 South at exit 54. I'm currently on my way to Texas. That's where I'm at right now. So I've been driving for about, I've been driving for almost 5 hours, 20 minutes short of 5 hours. So yeah. But anyway, that's it. You guys have a wonderful day. And y'all take it easy. You just stopped.
White bitches sniffing cocaine.
What tips do you have about not getting stressed about four-wheelers? Okay, safe lane change. Catching up on this semi-truck, I have a car that just merged on behind me. I signaled early, so he's actually staying back. I come across, swap lanes safely. I completed the lane change. I'm now driving straight again. Alright, coming up on this other driver, I'm about to come by him at pretty quick rate of speed. Put my turn signal back on to indicate that I want to come back to the right-hand lane upon passing this gentleman or female, whatever it is. Pass him or her. Now I look in my mirrors, I see that I have created enough space between myself and the driver I just passed. Execute a safe lane change while keeping my head on the swivel. After that, hit my marker light, say thank you because the guy flashes high beams at me to allow me to come over, let me know there's space. Oh, a lot of times drivers out there will flash their high beams at you to say it's safe for you to come over. Still, even if they do that, still assess and make sure for yourself that you can come over. Because some people out here, they'll flash their high beams, but there's like 5 feet of space between you and the guy. So don't come over and there's like 5 feet between you and the person, like you're passing. That's just not safe. Now let's talk about you want to talk about four-wheelers. Four-wheelers in the trucking community is cars. ROEHL also has one of the safes of them called expect the expected. In the back of your head, always remember, just think of it this way. Every single person that drives a car is fucking retarded, has a diet that consists of crayons, huffs paint, and wears a helmet in their everyday life. And that's just your general opinion of cars. So whenever they come around you, just drive safe, maintain your lane, keep an eye on what's going on around you. If you find yourself getting, I call them packs, where it's like you're driving, all of a sudden it seems as if there's like 3 or 4 cars in front of you, like a line of cars behind you, 6 cars, 7 cars behind you. I tend to want to slow down because I don't like riding in the pack. Because one, you don't know about the crazy. So slow down, stay back, reduce the risk, know what's around you, just stay away from them. Just don't, I think what you're probably wanting to know about is aggressive drivers. You have the people that want to come out here and they get mad because, they didn't get laid last night, and now here comes this big ass slow 18-wheeler who is only driving 65 miles an hour. And they get upset at you just for your existence. So what they want to do is they want to cut you off and get in front of you and slam on their brakes and do all that nonsense. You just slow down, exit the situation. Don't sit here and say, I'm going to show them. If there's someone on their brakes again, you're going to let the truck hit the car, and you're going to, you're going to turn this into an off-road challenge to see who wins this game of chicken. Like, we're not doing that. But that's not safe. Slow down, stay back, create some distance with this person, and let them go on about their day. And wish them the best of luck in their endeavors. Hopefully they get some coochie next time they go home, so they don't have to come out and be hating on the world the next day. But yeah, that's how I deal with them. I just understand the fact that they all eat crayons and wear helmets in their everyday life, and I assume that they're going to do something stupid. So I stay away from them. I slow down, I stay back, and I let them do their thing. I don't freak out. And that's one thing I notice I have trainees that do. They like to they'll stay in the lane, and then the second they go to get passed by a car or a truck, they swerve hardcore to the right or to the left, depending on which lane we're in, and they'll try to swerve to get out the way of the car. Like, you're in your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't drive us off the road because you're getting passed by a car or a truck. Then I guess they're still getting used to the fact that they're sharing this big road out here with other people. But yeah. But anyway, like I said, that's that. Now I'm going to end the video. You guys have a good day, and I hope to see y'all out here on the road. As always, like, comment, subscribe, yeah, I'll be here. Send some emails, drop comments, and I'll get back to it. All right, guys, have a great day.